The Pop-Tart is, in its own small way, a mirror of our linguistic age. It shows how easily meaning bends to align with popular consumption, how convenience dictates definition. We've grown accustomed to thinking of words as the packaging rather than the content, as labels to sell rather than signs to signify. But every time a definition shifts to suit our appetite, the world becomes a little less real. Language no longer names what is, it names what we prefer. If we can so casually double the meaning of one serving without blinking, how many other words have changed while keeping their same friendly shape? How many truths have been reportioned to fit modern taste? For nearly 2 millennia, Christianity has had a remarkably simple test for orthodoxy. It isn't cultural, denominational, or even geographic, it's confessional. From the earliest centuries, to call oneself a Christian meant to stand within the boundaries of the Apostles' Creed and the Nicene Creed, to both speak those words and mean what the Church has always meant by them. These creeds weren't innovations, they were clarifications, concise distillations of the faith handed down from the Apostles, formed in the fires of heresy and hammered into permanence by consensus. They drew a clear circle around what Christianity is, and by implication, what is not. They are, so to speak, the common grammar of the faith. One phrase in particular has always stood at the heart of the confession. I believe in one, holy, Catholic, and apostolic church. For the early Christians, Catholic didn't only mean vague universality. It meant the visible, sacramental communion that spanned the world under the authority of the bishops in union with the apostolic faith. The word katholikos in Greek means according to the whole, which implied wholeness, unity, and universality, but not abstraction. It was universal because it was united. One faith, one altar, one baptism, one Lord. The Fathers also used Catholic to mean according to the whole, as in spread throughout the world and holding the whole faith, and this very universality presupposes a visible communion under bishops, not an invisible, abstract idea. When Ignatius of Antioch, writing in the 1st century, used the words Catholic Church, he meant something concrete, not abstract. The gathered body of believers under their bishop, forming part of the universal communion of the Church. It was not an invisible network of like-minded individuals, but a visible, breathing reality. To be outside that communion was to be outside the Church. To be fair, it is sometimes argued that the Reformers did not seek outright to redefine Catholic, but to reclaim it, to locate the Church's wholeness in a pure apostolic doctrine rather than a corrupt, visible institution. But this sets up a false choice, for the early Christians never imagined the two could be separated. And it further begs the question, how is this apostolic doctrine to be known? Was it a secret code embedded in text, waiting for a clever reader to decipher it 15 centuries later? No, it was a public reality. A living stream of teaching passed from the apostles to their successors, the bishops. The doctrine was inseparable from the men who guarded it. The faith was not a philosophy to be debated, but a treasure to be received from a specific authorized source. To attempt to recover a pure doctrine by detaching it from the visible, historical body that carried it through time is like trying to save a man's soul by discarding his body. The Gnostics tried this, and the Church condemned them for it. The apostolic faith is incarnational. Truth is bound to flesh.